Hey guys, the Sports Entertainer here, back with some more wrestling news. Now, there was some big news revealed earlier today regarding the SmackDown brand, as WrestleOps took to Twitter just hours ago to announce that Road Dogg has apparently been named the new co-lead writer for the Blue brand, revealing Road Dogg Brian James has been named the new co-lead writer for SmackDown via PW Insider. E-Wrestling News provided a good summary of this big announcement and a brief history on Road Dogg's involvement with WWE behind the scenes. PW Insider is reporting that WWE Hall of Famer Brian James, known to fans as the Road Dogg, has been named the new co-lead writer of WWE SmackDown. James will work alongside John Swakeda, the current lead writer of SmackDown, who took on the role last year. James brings a wealth of experience to the team, having been an integral part of WWE's creative and talent departments throughout his career. He was previously released from WWE in early 2022 as part of a restructuring of the NXT brand. However, his return to WWE came just months later in August 2022 when he was appointed as the Senior Vice President of Live Events. Now, this announcement of Road Dogg becoming the new co-lead writer for SmackDown has been met with a lot of wrestling fans declaring this as terrible news for WWE, as lots of fans were quick to point out that Road Dogg was a big part of the creative for SmackDown a few years ago when the show was arguably at its worst, with Road Dogg actually being the lead writer for the show in 2016 and 2017. Let us know your thoughts on Road Dogg becoming the new co-lead writer for SmackDown moving forward, and what we'll say is that D-Generation X are certainly dominating the executive duties in WWE these days, as Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and now Road Dogg are all in prominent positions behind the scenes when it comes to booking the current WWE product. Now, Seth Rollins hopefully has a few more years left in his in-ring wrestling career in WWE, but considering he's 38 and has had an equally lengthy and grueling career with lots of injuries, no doubt we're closer to the end of Seth's in-ring journey, and clearly Seth Rollins is already beginning to think about his post-in-ring career. And actually more so than just thinking about it, because during a recent interview with Bloomberg's Kim Bazin, Seth revealed that he's already in the early stages of conversation with WWE about what his role could be once he's retired from being an in-ring talent, with Seth even stating that he'd like to run WWE once the current regime is done. I think my long-term future is probably still in the industry, in WWE, in some capacity backstage. I think someone's going to have to run that place eventually, after the current regime has decided that they're done with it. So I like to fancy myself as someone who might be interested in that, and so I want to learn kind of that side of things, and that's my first love. But I do have an interest in dabbling. I've done some acting, some little bit roles. That's not the most fun thing for me, but we are here, Super Bowl weekend, talking about football, and that is what I love to do. I would love to be able to somehow parlay my love for professional football into a gig. My ultimate goal is to be in the broadcast booth and call Chicago Bears games on Sundays. That would be a fantastic thing for me, so we'll keep pushing for that, and maybe sports media is in the future, but I do think long-term we're probably looking at Seth Rollins in WWE for a long time. I mean, it's still a ways off, obviously. Rollins responded when asked if he's spoken to WWE about his interest in working in management. I mean, I'm closer to the end of my career than beginning, but the end ain't here yet, so I'm kind of in my prime right now. I'm 38 years old. My mental and my physical are kind of locked in right now, where my physical hasn't declined too much, and my mental side is really on the rise, as I'm starting to see the industry from a different angle, so that part I'm really focused on. I think we're in the early stages of conversations about what it might look like for me in the future, in an executive or in a creative role or whatever that may be. But again, that's in its infancy. That's like hey, maybe what would you think down the road? So right now I'm focused on what I'm doing in the ring and helping out there as best I can. There's some truly amazing news to share regarding the super talented Stephanie Vaquer, because for those of you who had missed it, Stephanie Vaquer dethroned Fallon Henley of the NXT Women's North American Championship to kick off the NXT Vengeance Day event, becoming the third women's division star to hold that title. With her impressive win tonight, Stephanie Vaquer becomes the first South American-born champion in WWE history, and the first woman to win a singles title in both WWE and CMLL since WWE Hall of Famer Bull Nakano. We're so happy for Stephanie, as she's, without question, one of the most promising new women's division stars in the WWE right now, and she has future main roster superstar written all over her. Former ring announcer Samantha Irvin left the WWE back in October, something that caught a lot of fans off guard at the time. What was even more surprising was the fact that Samantha would reveal that she didn't even like being a ring announcer, despite clearly being extremely talented at it, as Samantha would have preferred being a manager, but WWE didn't see it, hence why Samantha Irvin ultimately left. However, clearly Samantha Irvin feels her career in WWE could have went differently had Vince McMahon still been in charge, because during a recent appearance on Busted Open Radio, Samantha firstly made it clear that she's not done with wrestling, and that Vince would have basically given her a different role in WWE had he still been in charge, and not Triple H. "I'm not done with wrestling at all. I now have realized that I will need to have an opportunity where I can make something. I have to be able to make something." Just like with the ring announcing, we have amazing ring announcers. We have always had great ring announcers, great voices, and very professional, more professional than myself. When they asked me to do it, I said, I'm going to inject some crack into this so that they move me off of it. I'm going to make this the biggest thing ever. Growing up with Vince McMahon, honestly, if there was a Samantha Irvin, Vince would have taken her off of ring announcing. He would have been like, put her somewhere else and have her do something else. In my head, I always thought that's what would happen. That wasn't the case. I'm so proud of everything I accomplished, but ring announcing is not my goal, and I'm very goal-oriented. When I accomplished all of that stuff, it was, okay, that's it. Now I'm going to keep doing it, and there is nothing else to work for or reach. That's when I had to step away. If there is some work that needs to be done and something that I think needs to be improved and I can contribute, I'm going to finagle my way back in there when the time is right, wherever that may be. There's some truly sad news to report, as it was announced earlier today that Gran Hamada, the founder of Universal Lucha Libre, has passed away at the age of 74. Here was a blurb from the WrestleView.com article detailing this sad passing of Gran Hamada. According to Realidad San Luis, which is a local news outlet in San Luis Potosí, Mexico, Gran Hamada, the founder of Universal Lucha Libre, has passed away at the age of 74. Hamada was part of the first group of wrestlers to train in the NJPW's dojo, and then later make his debut for the promotion when it debuted in 1972. Hamada is also one of the very first Japanese wrestlers to train in Lucha Libre and to incorporate that style of wrestling in his own performances in the ring. He wrestled in both Mexico and Japan throughout his professional wrestling career. Hamada worked in the Universal Wrestling Association beginning in 1979 and AJPW in 1981. He would go on to be the founder of Universal Lucha Libre in 1990. In 1993, he worked with Michinoku Pro Wrestling. He also made 2 appearances in the United States back in 1997. He wrestled at the WWE at the In Your House, D-Generation X pay-per-view, and ECW's Barely Legal pay-per-view. Now, among the wrestlers who have reacted to this sad news, wrestling legend William Regal took to Twitter by saying, "I'm very sorry to hear of the passing of Gran Hamada. I was on a few New Japan Pro Wrestling tours with him. He was a groundbreaking pro, and I went out with him several times and he was a karaoke king. Rest well." Now we send our condolences to the family, friends, and fans of Gran Hamada during this truly difficult and heartbreaking time. Well guys, that's it for today's major wrestling news. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on, so you'll never miss out on an episode. Finally, if you haven't already, give us a follow on Twitter at TSE Wrestling, and we will see you guys in the next video.